We have some more news regarding a new manager at the club. We will, of course, discuss this in today's video. Not only that, we will also go over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. The AGM descended into chaos within minutes, with supporters attempting to challenge the board over governance, recruitment and communication before proceedings were brought to a premature end. Ross Desmond's comments, defending both his father and the board's record while criticising those who oppose their direction, appeared to ignite the room further. As sections of the floor reacted furiously, the meeting was adjourned for the second and final time, leaving shareholders without the opportunity to ask questions or hold the hierarchy to account. In the hours that followed, the Celts Fans Collective published footage of the crucial exchange alongside a scathing statement of their own. The group, formed earlier this year to push for greater accountability and modernisation at Celtic, made clear their belief that the moment summed up the crisis facing Celtic's leadership. Yet again, the Celtic board gives a principal shareholder free rein, this time using his son as cover to unleash another disgraceful attack on Celtic fans. If the footage didn't exist, you'd struggle to believe it happened. His behaviour is spiralling, and it shows. Their post underlines the rift that now exists between large sections of the support and the board. With protests, walkouts, and open frustration defining the AGM, the Celts Fans Collective's response adds further pressure on the club to address not just the managerial vacancy, but the deeper issues supporters feel are being ignored. By highlighting the board's decision to allow Ross Desmond to deliver the statement uncontested, the group raised concerns about accountability within the club's hierarchy. For them, the incident was not an isolated misstep, but part of a pattern in which supporters feel dismissed and criticised rather than listened to. Their frustration echoes loudly across a fan base that expected transparency at the AGM and instead witnessed a meeting cut short before meaningful discussion could begin. The reaction also illustrates the scale of anger surrounding the communication between the board and supporters. Desmond's comments, delivered during a highly charged moment, were seen by many as inflammatory and ill-judged. The Celts Fans Collective's response makes it clear they believe the club's leadership has become increasingly detached from the people who fill the stadium, fund its operations, and define its identity. Their stance adds weight to the wider demand for structural change at Celtic. As the club attempts to move forward after the AGM, the challenge facing the board is obvious. Rebuilding trust will require more than prepared statements or controlled messaging. Supporters want engagement, clarity, and respect, all of which were in short supply during Thursday's meeting. The Celts Fans Collective's intervention shows that supporters are no longer willing to simply accept decisions handed down from above without scrutiny. The club now enters a critical period, with the imminent appointment of a new manager offering a chance to reset. Yet the issues highlighted by the collective extend far beyond the dugout. Restoring unity across the club will depend on whether the board is prepared to confront the concerns raised and change its approach. For now, the message from supporters is clear. They expect better, and they are no longer prepared to stay silent. Now for the main story, as last night we reported that Stephen McGowan is now firmly pointing to Wilfried Nancy as the man Celtic are moving towards. Appearing on Graham Spears' Press Box podcast, McGowan doubled down on that position, while Andrew Smith added that Nancy's compensation package with Columbus Crew drops in December. Now, Peter Martin has added new information, and his update pushes the speculation even further. According to Martin on PLZ, he believes Nancy will be Celtic's manager by the 1st of December and potentially even earlier. He went as far as to say he's confident the Frenchman will be in the dugout for Celtic's midweek game against Dundee, which would naturally mean he'd also take charge against Hearts the following weekend. With Hearts losing 1-0 to Aberdeen and the gap narrowing to just 4 points, Nancy's arrival could coincide with a pivotal moment in the title race. Martin also outlined what's holding up the final announcement. Nancy's start date depends on the completion of contracts for 4 key members of his backroom staff who are expected to join him in Glasgow over the next week. Celtic are understood to be aligning all deals so the full coaching team arrives together rather than piecemeal. One unresolved question concerns Sean Maloney. He has impressed since stepping up alongside Martin O'Neill, and while a return to his development role is the obvious option, a promotion into Wilfried Nancy's permanent staff has not been ruled out. His future will become clearer once the new structure is formally confirmed. He's widely thought to be the brains behind the interim staff, while Mark Fotheringham is also very highly rated in the current coaching setup. When first appointed, O'Neill said, "I'm working with Sean Maloney. Sean and I go back years and years ago when he was a young player with me. But he has experience in management now. He's worked with lots of really good coaches. And as I said, he himself has been a manager, so I will obviously need help. And Sean is there to give it to me." Celtic supporters are waiting for the final announcement, but all indications now point towards the same conclusion. Wilfried Nancy is closing in on the job, with only the final contractual steps left to navigate. Lastly, off the pitch, Celtic are dealing with a lot of disharmony on a scale not seen in years. Celtic's year has been a car crash. Kyogo was sold in January with no replacement lined up, a move that arguably cost the club a treble. The summer was no better. Mader and Kuhn wanted out. Kuhn got his move. Ida left, and yet no striker or right winger was brought in. Fans were furious, and the humiliating Champions League exit to Kairat Almaty only poured petrol on the fire. Domestic form dipped, exposing the squad's lack of quality, and Brendan Rodgers eventually walked after admitting he couldn't convince the board to back him. Dermot Desmond responded with a fiery statement, while the CEO stayed silent. With all that, it's little wonder supporters are now protesting and demanding change. Interim boss Martin O'Neill admitted after the dramatic 1-0 win in Paisley that the atmosphere is far from helpful for the squad, but did end up joking that players like Dayson Mader probably can't understand the sack the board chants echoing from the stands. Asked whether the squad has gone into a bubble mentality to protect themselves from the chaos surrounding the club, Luke McCowan was clear that the dressing room can't afford to get dragged into the politics. He told Record Sport, "Listen, the players, we've not got any say or control on what's happening, but we just need to go and do a job for this club. And that's the main thing that we need to do. And regardless of how the fans are feeling, regardless of what's going on with the board and all that kind of stuff, us players need to go and get 3 points. And it's as black and white as that. I'll always say it. That's what we need to do. And that's, at the end of the day, what we're judged on. I mean, if we have a bad performance, it's those players weren't good enough the day, regardless of what's going on. I'm getting passionate about it. But when you play in a big club, that's what you need to do. You need to block out everything, regardless. Because even if you start the game slow or start the league slow and nothing's going on with the board, you're still going to get fans judging you on how you're playing regardless of that. So you need to put yourself in that bubble because you want to stay present. What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comments section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.